All right, welcome back to Market Day Report. Thank you very much for joining us. If that's what you're doing, if you've been with us all day, that's great too. Let's get you this information in a timely fashion. It's the last day of August, so things could get squirrely. We'll make sure that we're on top of it for you. But let's start with our ags and our grains, and that would be corn. If we bring up a corn board, we can see what's been happening there, and we're just basically flipping around either side of unchanged in the day. Dees is actually unchanged. That's 4.80 3/4. Now we're down a quarter cent, right? So 4.80 1/2. This market's just listless. Doesn't really know what it wants to do. We've had a 10-cent range. Right now we're trading at 4.80 1/2, and that's down a quarter. Dees corn not doing anything. So that one's very, very quiet. As you go out the deferreds, you start to lose a little bit, maybe a penny and a quarter in the March, but nothing too significant. Let's move on to the soybeans. What do we have happening there? Well, we've got a 9-cent loss pretty much across the board. Novi, new crop, down 9 cents, 13.77 3/4. It's a penny and a half off the lows, folks. Got to ring that warning bell. We've had a 16-cent range, and we're a penny and a half off the lows. That just tells the story for you, doesn't it? And again, we're 9 cents across the board off when it comes to soybeans. So that's that market. Wheat in Chicago, the Chicago wheat market, that's basically unchanged. I'll call it that. I mean, we're a quarter cent lower in the Dees. 606 3/4 is last there. We're right in the middle of the day's trading range, which is about 22 cents. So that'll give you an idea. We've had a high of 615 and a low of 593. So we're 10 cents off the high and about, 13 cents off the low, or whatever that is. 13 cents off the low. So that's a quarter cent lower. That's wheat. Not really doing a lot right now. All right. Hard red wheat in Kansas City. Let's move over there and see what that's got in store for us. And it's got a 4-cent loss in store for us. 727 3/4 is last there. And again, that's another 22-cent range. We're 10 cents from the highs. I mean, that's going to give you the story. We're 4 cents lower, though. Not a lot happening there. These markets kind of quiet, maybe looking for some direction. And maybe they're looking for some direction from some last-minute buying or selling because it's the end of the month. We'll see. We'll ask our next guest analyst that. 8 1/4 cents lower in the spring wheat in Minneapolis. That's the Dees. 771 1/4 is last there. And then finally, let's get to the cotton. What's happening? Well, cotton's up 4 points. We've lost some of this gain. 87.92 is last in Dees cotton. Let's bring in our guest analyst, our roving reporter. He's Tommy Grisafi. He's out at the Farm Progress Show in Decatur. Tommy, thanks for tuning us in and keeping us abreast of what's been going on. What are your thoughts when it comes to the grains, or if you're seeing anything out there in Farm Progress end that's interesting too?
Well, number one, we're seeing a lot of optimism at the Farm Progress Show. Having a little problem with technology. It's 2023, and we all still can't get a good cell signal. I had to run back out to my pickup and hook up to a Wi-Fi. I can't see your beautiful face. I assume you're still as handsome as ever. We'll check back with the studio to make sure that's happening. But the clock is playing tricks on the grain market. We had first notice day yesterday. If you're still holding a bushel of corn, that is not an old crop bushel anymore, my friend. That is a new crop bushel, and all old crop bushels officially had a birthday yesterday. And sometimes birthday parties don't go well if someone tips over the cake. When it comes to corn, we trade up at night, and then we trade lower right on the open. So it's not hard to run up the corn market at night, being that there's of the thousands of grain elevators in America are not really open. Once those grain elevators open for business, old crop bushels and new crop bushels are coming in. In my opinion, I went to a after party at the Farm Progress Show with my buddy Andy Pasture from Andy Clean, good dude from Canada, and a lot of farmers there. This crop in harvest is coming on fast. So regardless of the conspiracy theories, is a crop there or not, there is crop out there. We just drove all the way from northern Indiana to central Illinois, spent the night in Springfield, went back to the farm show. We're there now. There's crop. Is it the best crop ever? I'm not so sure about that. And there's problems in America, but harvest is going to happen. Harvest is going to happen. Christmas won't be canceled, and we will have harvest pressure. I remember a year, Scotty, a few years ago where we had a really, really bad hard red spring wheat crop up in the northern plains. But even with a bad crop, when it was harvest time, we had pressure. There's always people who sell off the combine, and that creates harvest pressure. So a lot of optimism here at the farm show. People are in a good mood. Weather's amazing. Thank God the farm show was right now. In 3 days, it would not be as much fun to be back here with this heat coming in. Back to you, my friend.
All right, stay right there. We're going to go away. We're going to pay some bills. We're going to come back and talk more with Tommy Grisafi and myself about the livestock after this. All right, welcome back. It's still Market Day Report. I'm Scott Shellady. Let's talk about the livestock, right? You got to wear, if you wear this jacket, you got to talk about livestock. Let's bring in that live cattle update and see what we've got going on there. Live cattle, not a lot. I keep expecting something really big to happen, but it just keeps getting disappointing. I'll take a higher board because we flipped around here. 30 cents higher now in October live cattle. 180.35 is last 40 cents off the highs. So we're going to take that, right? And but we're actually lower in some. This is really kind of a mixed board, but the 30 cents higher we're going to take. That's October live cattle. Let's see about feeder cattle. Let's move from the live cattle to the feeders. That's 47. I know that's 35 cents lower in the October contract. 254.87 is last there, and that's in the middle of the day's range. So there's not a lot happening in feeders, but they've come back from their lows. So we'll take that too. And then finally, let's take a look at lean hogs. We'll get back to our guest analysts, and they're down $1.32 in that front month, October. 82.27 is last, and that's only 17 cents off the lows. All right, let's bring back in Mr. Grisafi, Tommy Grisafi. Got about 60 seconds, Tommy. Anything you want to get off your chest? It doesn't have to be about livestock. It can be, but the floor is yours.
You know, there's a good group of farmers there at the party. I met farmers from several countries. They're all optimistic. They all love agriculture. They're very, very, very focused on producing bushels, and oftentimes, my friend, they forget about the price. When it comes to livestock, the livestock producer is so much more locked into prices because their inability to store, and they're better at marketing. They have to market their product, whereas the farmer is like, I know I could have sold $6 corn, but I'm going to put it in the bin at $4.50, and they are cognizant of the interest rates. The operating notes at 10% are going to come back to haunt people. Even rich people like to make money, my friend. Back to you.
Well, you know, as my father said, rich people don't get rich by spending money. How about that? So you're exactly right, and we'll have to wait and see how that happens. But it'll be interesting to see how long and how high these rates are, because that's what the Fed's saying now. Higher for longer. Well, we'll see. All right. Thanks very much. Tommy Grisafi, Advanced Trading. We'll bring it back from Decatur, Illinois to Nashville, Tennessee.